From a young age, she was taught that the answer to raised voices was climbing a decibel higher. But later, she found out that a hole in a wall always gets more attention than a voice competing. The wall always gives way to her fist, like the weak-willed daughter she never learned to be. On more than one night, the wrong knuckles on her good hand ballooned up twice as big as the others, the blood. A slow outpouring of grief from the skin where her fingers tightened into hammers. Mother always said it wasn't ladylike to be so angry. Stay calm, she said. Pretend, she said. Mother had always been a lady, but not this girl, with the bandage and the bruises and the mouth full of excuses. She knows anger like people walk away when the truth gets mean. Everyone wants to point fingers or jam them in their ears and quit listening. No one is listening. No one is listening. No one ever listens. A girl isn't respected unless she is a lady, but what is she supposed to do when even that isn't good enough? Sometimes you've got to swing and throw your weight behind all the things that you're never allowed to say. Swing hard, swing splinters into the night where the woman who teaches that girl that being quiet is the answer. She's the exact reason that her anger takes such an ugly form. This girl refuses to play nice with the people who untaught her kindness. She will not accept rules that were set up to cripple her. You can only push so hard before something's gonna give. And eventually, after a few good holes and a couple of hours, the rushing in her ears calms down enough so she can finally listen to reason. But first, she's gotta swing. Remember that she never threw a punch at anything that could feel the impact. When you lose someone, whether by accident or on purpose, you start measuring time by its proximity to the loss. You start seeing familiarity in the faces of strangers. You see the creases around your mother's eyes, Molly's wide smile, the curve of your sister's nose. Reflections in windows are no longer silent figures. They scream the names of all the people you will probably never see again, except as a fleeting shadow across a busy city street or a memory that flashes in front of your eyes in the seconds before you start crying. When you lose everyone at once, your body will be the first to react. The twisting of the stomach, the nightmares at work or while driving, the heavy heart pounding against your last hope until that begins to shudder. I've been told that I cannot eat poems, that poems will not cure me of my sadness, that here's a list of doctors, take some meds, this one's a natural cure, there's no reason for you to be so miserable. The last doctor I saw told me I was crazy. I spent the next 8 months proving him right because I have never met a doctor who could uninvent loneliness. I've never found a pill that could close down the miles that are gonna force me to spend Christmas morning alone this year. But I have read poems that resembled my outstretched hands, pale and trembling, but still so full of power. I've heard poets speak words of mercy that remind me that I am not as alone as I feel tonight. Doctor, can I wash this one down with some water under the bridge? If I take 2 before bed, will I at least wake up used to this? Will it bring my girl back? Or will it just make me forget? I haven't gotten any answers. This pill is still sitting on my tongue. I think for now, I'll stick with these poems. They may not be for eating, but they do fill me up. In his dreams, Dylan sees colors that start off quiet and hears voices that are soft with acceptance. But sometime, just before daybreak, the dreams change their minds and quickly become the devils that he can't outpace. He is always running, and the tattoo on his arm is a real compass that's pulling against his skin, trying to point him home. When he was younger, home was a lap to crawl into or wherever his mother kept the Play-Doh, but lately he's had to reconsider. He writes ugly to the sound of a door slam on a cold night, hoping that if his absence hurts long enough, someone will save him from this cave-in that crumbled his self-worth the night that they left, but no one's shown up to save him yet. When he's lonely, he practices what he would say if they ever came back, forming the syllables in his mouth before spitting them out. Listen, Mom, I'm hurting. These poems aren't doing enough healing. Some days I can't see straight and I need to come clean, so please be there for me. But Mom isn't listening. And every day, Dylan wakes up realizing that we sometimes put our trust in things not worth saving. They're not worth saving, Dylan. It's been a long time since he's felt any safety in the word home. And maybe all he needs is a hug, but he's not getting one of those. He is so desperate for his family's attention that he paints a target right between his eyes, another larger on his chest, and hands them a gun loaded with his every mistake and dares them to take aim. All he wants is to be noticed. But he is nothing but a bad taste in somebody's mouth. He is still hurting, and he knows that his parents are stuck somewhere between the 14-year-old troublemaker and the 23-year-old who lost his way, but that doesn't keep him from hoping that maybe today will be the day. In his dreams, Dylan sees a White House, an apple tree, and parts of himself that he tried to hold on to as he grew older. But if dreams taught him anything, it's that nothing good can stay.